Meta shares, they're down again today after that record drop for the stock yesterday. You can see the 5-day chart is similarly ugly. And Mark Zuckerberg talking a lot about competition from the likes of TikTok, maybe sending a little message to Washington, please don't regulate us, we've got enough competition. But the market is sort of bringing a comeuppance to Meta that maybe Washington has failed to do. Rick Newman has been looking at that issue for us. Rick, so, there has been this back and forth with Washington. There's been a lot of talk about regulation of Meta, Facebook. It hasn't happened.
Right. And it's not just Washington. I mean, there are 48 state attorneys general who say Facebook is a monopoly and it needs to be broken up. So many people, think of all the hearings we had with senators and members of Congress saying your business model seems abusive. Nothing has really changed. But look what's happening now. It's actually the market that is punishing Facebook for a business model that suddenly seems out of date. So, I mean, what's really happening here is people care more about privacy. Apple in particular has responded to those concerns about privacy by giving people this automatic opt-out feature from app tracking on their phones. And that goes directly to Facebook's business model. I mean, the core of Facebook's business model is hoovering up all this data on people and then monetizing it for advertising purposes. And it is actually the market that is saying that is not cool. So what regulators have been unable to accomplish, which is to put a dent in Facebook's business model, the market itself is actually doing. And I think this is permanent. I think we are seeing a resetting of the value of Facebook here. That chart you just showed is astonishing. Facebook has been printing money for more than a decade, and suddenly the market is saying, nope, you're not our darling anymore. And I think this is going to last.
And Rick, isn't the other problem here is because of regulators just have all their eyes on Facebook here. They can't go out there and buy TikTok. Now, if this was 5 or 6 years ago, perhaps they could go out there and buy a competitor, but essentially their future will depend on what they do internally.
I mean, I was joking yesterday. I mean, Snap is up 40% and Facebook is down 30%. I think Snap should buy Facebook. How's that, Brian? I mean, remember there was talk about Facebook buying Snap a while ago as well. This whole market seems to be changing rapidly right in front of us. I mean, it's really unusual that you see a market reorientation that happens as fast as we are seeing right now. I think you're right. Plus, Facebook now has much bigger problems than the competition. I mean, I want to restate this. Facebook's business model is now in question. I mean, the market is basically saying we're somewhat invalidating or we're massively discounting Facebook's entire business model, which has been the secret of that company's success ever since Mark Zuckerberg started it, almost 20 years ago. Suddenly, it doesn't look so solid.
And suddenly, the biggest threat to the company has nothing to do with the government of the U.S. or any other. Rick, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a great week.